Let's do this. Can hardly ever catch you because of the NA-EU schedule mismatch. Ooh, feels bad, man. Well, we always try to... I try and cast as many time zones as possible, but obviously the biggest issue of NA stuff is there just isn't NA stuff to cast. And when there is, the viewership isn't quite there all of the time. Sorry, I'm trying to move the cast up so I can rename it to Stephano. Casting in NA time zones is really difficult to... just to do at all for us, really. It's kind of crazy how difficult it seems to be. Alright, well then guys, let's kick this off into game number 1 of this best of 3. As we do have, to the bottom right hand side, our blue Terran player from Team Liquid. This is uThermal. And to the top left hand side, the red Zerg from Gamers Origin is Stephano. Alright then, so game number 1 of this series. As we get this off and ready to go. I see a spawning pool just coming down to the side of the hatchery here, and the hatchery first already on the way down on the low ground. So, hatch gas and pool in the early stages. And obviously uThermal has a little bit of a difference here, is actually the choice to go command center first. A little bit greedier, a little bit more economy focused of course. But in this case, with hatch gas pool on the other side, he's going to get away with it. It's kind of funny, CC first is actually quite a good counter to quite a lot of the early kind of Zerg pressure plays. Against fast Ravagers or anything, it actually isn't that good, obviously, but against, for example, the fast, against like a fast Ling opening or so, it actually finishes at the CC before it can be delayed / cancelled. So that's going on. And by the way, DNS just won a big fight to take that series 2-0 against Petit Drogo. Alright. I can't see Namshaw on the chat channel. Give me a quick moment here, guys. I'm just trying to message Namshaw. Try and coordinate all these players. There we go. Just because I have Namshaw on my friends list on this account and not on the other. Alright. So, getting this going in the ZvT, obviously, for the most part, it's a fairly passive start. There's not really too much crazy going on. We have this factory coming down, we have the reactor coming up, and then we are getting this started. Cool. Alright. Drogo DNS has just gone the way of DNS 2-0. So DNS has just taken that one there, and he has gone and won that series. So DNS taking the 2-0. He advances through to the semi-finals alongside Nercho so far today. So far we actually have ourselves the exact same, well not the exact, well actually I guess it kind of is the exact same bracket as we had for the WardiTV Invitational number 3. We had DNS, Nercho in the semi-finals on other sides of the bracket. And back then it was DNS versus... what was that semi-final for DNS to win to go into the finals? I think that was DNS Creator in those semi-finals. But, yeah, anyways, obviously the winner of this series, uThermal vs Stephano, will play against Nercho in the semi-finals. That would be a rematch of our WardiTV Invitational number 3 as well. So that's actually some very exciting stuff. But if you ask me, kind of... all these players keep on coming through and winning again, and like they keep on showing up in the higher leagues. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Alright, well, we are going to be having these few queens just spread and creep on the left-hand side. Haven't really mentioned too much yet because there hasn't really been all too much to mention. uThermal will take a third base in the back. He did go for a fairly fast stim opener. And he just has a few Hellions on the map to kind of roam around, try and see what's going on. There's a couple more which he'll leave at home in case of a Ling counterattack. Especially on this map, which is a lot harder to defend run by Zon because there's double wall-off needed. So you can't just wall-off right away. And as we are going to be having the... well, a couple of extra barracks coming down. Obviously, again, we kind of knew this was bio from the Stimpack opener. So, yeah, that's getting set up. Stephano will take the nice fast +1/+1 upgrades, though. Melee and Carapace upgrades coming through here on the Evolution Chambers. So, getting those going right from the get-go. 4 drones going down to these few Hellions that are running by. Apologies, just missed that there. Meanwhile, there's a Liberator as well somewhere, which is getting some kills too. Oh man, that Liberator in the main has already picked up 4 kills. There's another 6 go down to the Hellions. So that's a 10 worker kill start off. And even a couple of Lings going down here as the Liberator will be able to unsiege and actually just re-siege. I mean, if nothing else, he's going to be able to buy himself more mining time lost for Stephano. Finally, the Spore Crawler finishes up, and this is going to be that Spore Crawler burrowing, and the Liberator moving away towards the upper left-hand side as the Overlord takes another hit of damage. Double armory on the way, though, from uThermal, so while he is getting stim, what on earth is that? He's going to go... Huh? Mech upgrades. Oh my god, he's going bio into mech. uThermal is coming out with some pretty funky stuff right now. Bio to start the game, but double mech upgrades means he's only really going to use the first kind of set of Marines or so to kind of harass a while. And then he's obviously going to be mainly focusing on a mech army to follow up from there. So uThermal playing a little bit of an interesting one so far. He played some really cool games last night, if you guys missed it, in the groups. uThermal actually played some really interesting games as Queen goes down for the Liberator. 2 more Hellions try and dive by, but not going to find a chance to do much as we do see the Zerglings getting full surrounds and the Hellions getting taken down. So a couple of Hellions do fall there. Again, melee upgrades still just coming along right now. Vehicle weapon upgrades and plating as well. I mean, again, Stephano just has no clue about this, right? I mean, when he scouted, he saw stim, it looks like bio. And when he sees these medevacs attacking him, it's going to look and feel like bio. But eventually, there's going to be 4 more factories on the way, and he's going to be playing mech, and Stephano's just going to be like, what? When? What? How? Like, it's one of those weird builds that just puts you into such a weird situation. There's going to be his few Marines just going to be unloaded here just down to the side. We do have a scan to start cleaning up some of the group spreads. So, I mean, I guess the Marines, again, for now, he's going to use the bio play to kind of do what bio does best, which is control the map against the Zerg rather than letting the Zerg take control, which they can do a little bit against the mech play a lot of the time. Actually just trades out heavily against the Lings. Not only that is, you know, if Stephano doesn't rescout the main, which why would he? What does he usually have to see? If he doesn't rescout the main, then he doesn't really have a reason to, you know, to kind of expect mech at all. So he's just going to keep on playing. Like, I mean, you can already see it. He's actually bypassing a Hydra Den. He's going straight to Infestation Pit. He's going straight to Hive. So Ling Bane, +2/+2 upgrades coming through as well. Infestation Pit is going to be finishing soon. Never 2 medevacs move out on the map. I mean, he's just not going to have any sort of preparation against Hellions and tanks and all of that sort of army, as uThermal at this stage has moved his barracks away for the most part. He's got combat shields about to finish, but that's about it. Well, I mean, what can you say? This is such a weird way to go. I mean, Stephano's streaming right now. I'd love to be able to tune into the stream simply to see his reaction when suddenly Hellions have blue flame and tanks start firing away and getting ready to go. Marines lifting up again, just dodging away from those few Zerglings there, as we do have them just coming over to the left-hand side. A little bit of a drop top side as well. Tank will siege up, and again, I mean, right now, maybe if you click on that siege tank and you see it has 1-1, you'll be a little bit like, what? Maybe if you click on the Marines and you realize that they have 0-0, you'd be a little bit like, what? Right? I mean, those are a couple of kind of weirder things here as we do see these Marines unloading once again. Spore Crawler getting some damage done. Stephano's got to be feeling great right now. He's deflecting the drops. He's not really letting uThermal do any damage. He's going up to Hive Tech. But he's only going to have Ling Bane against this mech army of Blue Flame Hellions and tanks. And I just do not know what you do with Ling Bane against Blue Flame Hellions and tanks. That's like a hard counter by the Terran player. There's nothing there, like, there's no kind of support of the Hydras, there's no Swarm Host Locusts, there's no Roaches, none of the things which kind of make the Ling Bane somewhat maybe viable or could help it out or anything. Well, he's cleaning the group spread with the Marines, making sure to keep the kind of vision of Stephano away from the tanks and the Hellions. Scans coming down, and we are going to be seeing, well, Lings and Queens still coming forwards here. We will see 1 medevac going down. Again, Stephano's like, okay, great. Killed a medevac, let's go, baby. And now he's going to see Blue Flame Hellions, and Stephano's going to be like, what? Like, I don't even know what on earth this is. I mean, Hellions morph into Hellbats. They start moving up to the top side of the map. And as they move up to the top side, we're going to be seeing what Stephano will do the best he can. He's going to go for the surround here. And it is a massive surround, in fairness. There's so much Ling Bane. Maybe just somehow enough to overrun this anyways. Well, I mean, overrun, yes, but was it really a fight which was massively advantageous? That's maybe a different question, because honestly, uThermal still stands strong in supply. And I think the thing you got to remember is this probably wasn't efficient for Stephano. Up until now, he probably was trading really well, because he was in that position. You can see, okay, uThermal actually drops quite a lot of volume supply. Okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was then. I thought Stephano would have done worse in that fight. I just feel as though going onwards in these fights, that you have to kind of look at this as Stephano still only has Lingbane against Mech, right? Okay, well, we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what the play is from Stephano. He does go into the Ultralisk Cavern still. As we are going to be having the few units here from Stephano coming back up towards the top side of the map. A few links to the south side are going to start working their way through those rocks, so as rocks get taken down, it's going to be a nice little... It's a nice little opening being created there, as you see the Hellions getting to work, roasting away a few of those Zerglings. Whoops, well, Banes go roll in there. I mean, I guess it's an okay trade. Doesn't seem amazing, but it's not terrible. Queens transfusing each other to be able to save themselves against the Liberators right now, although the Liberators actually going to get rid of a decent amount of Queens, honestly, raising a lot of transfusions as well, which is important because it means less transfusions for Ultralisks, which actually benefit a lot from transfusions because they're so tanky, they definitely can get a lot done. It's up 47 is coming in with the 15-month resub. Thank you so much for the 15 months. And also the cheer 1000 saying, rip my new time zone. Have a good one, mate. Dude, thank you so much for the 15 months and the 1000 bits. Hope your new time zone's treating you well. Even if it doesn't allow you to watch StarCraft 2 as easily. God damn it, time zones. We hate you. A Bullgrove coming in for the Twitch Prime sub as well. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Get some love in the chat for the love. People showing some love to the stream. Thank you very much, guys. As we are going to keep on up in this game right now. Just so many lings. 153 Zerglings on the map. Stephano is basically maxed out here. Well, I wonder how good the tanks actually are against those lings. I mean, obviously they're going to kill them. But if the lings can just get on top of the tanks, like, do the tanks survive? Is the friendly fire too much? Aliens here are going to get found by these Zerglings, so they're not even going to do much. Although, that said, the couple of shots they do get off put them kind of low. I wonder if Hellbat mode was really the right decision. I mean, I guess he gets a few more of them low on health, but does that really matter? Going to see a breakthrough in towards the natural and the main base, because actually the main doesn't have a second depot, so it's not a completed wall off. uThermal's starting to make some Cyclones, and he actually did this yesterday against Raynor when he was playing some of the mech play. And yesterday with the mech and Cyclones, he actually was able to hold off a massive amount with the Cyclones. He was able to get quite a lot done. So the Cyclones coming through right now. He has very good upgrades on those Cyclones, but also so does our Zerg. He has +3 carapace finished, and that is one of the more important things for the Ultralisks. uThermal taking the chance to start up the Raven production as well, too, coming up at a time-covered reactor on the way down, and in the same time we also already have a couple up on the map. Adrenal Glands will be finishing in just the next couple of moments. So as Adrenal Glands finishes up, we will have access to just even more powerful Zerglings. Man, this is just so Stephano, isn't it? You know, way back in the day, Stephano absolutely pioneered this style of massing Bane into Infestors and Ultras, and that was Stephano, the double melee upgrades. You know, he reinvented the metagame. And while uThermal's been trying to redefine the metagame in this TVZ so far, Stephano's just sort of doing what Stephano's always done best, which is a hell of a lot of Zerglings and doing whatever the heck he can with them. You're now going to be seeing these Lings and Banes coming over the right-hand side. Going to try and get a little bit done as he goes for a little bit of a surround. A couple of anti-armor missiles being used, which is really going to make those Zerglings have some trouble. Although here come the Ultras. I guess a lot of Liberators, but of course they can kind of just run out of Liberation Zones. Although right now they're sticking around. They're running back through the Liberation Zones. Feels like Stephano's going to be about to lose a lot. I think so far he didn't lose too much, but now he is going to lose a lot more. In fact, I say he doesn't lose a lot. He actually already remaxed with 70 Zerglings. That's a massive amount right there. As we are going to see moving through the center, a lot of creep team is starting to be cleaned out. A lot of creeps starting to go down. As you see this Ultras coming all the way back up towards the upper left side. I mean, uThermal feels as though he has the momentum now. He starts to siege those Liberators. Calbats and tanks pushing forwards too. Another couple of Zerglings going down here. Corruptors, Banes, the Ultra. Getting ready. Here it goes. Zerglings from the south side. Banes from the top. This is it. Everything runs in from Stephano to try and clean this up. But you can just see that the army really is melting as the Liberators on siege. Those Corruptors will also go down very swiftly with anti-armor missiles already on them. They are not going to be able to do enough. And uThermal will push on through to take game number 1 of this series. The bio into mech play. One hell of a way to do this. It was fancy, it was a bit technical. It looked a little bit scary when the Ling and Bane kind of ran in initially. But at the end of the day, it gets the job done. And uThermal will continue to push on forwards. Now another couple of drones dropping down here. This hatchery will go down as well. This, my friends, is truly GG. uThermal taking game number 1. Again, it's not quite over yet, but it may as well be at this stage. Just not to be negative or anything, but you know, he's up 50 supply and he has a mech army on the map. There's not really much you can do about it. Stephano just lost 25 drones, which actually still leaves him at 70. But he doesn't have a bank. He actually has a gas bank. He doesn't have a mineral bank, though. See a few Vipers on the way up, and I just wonder if he needed something. I mean, the Ultras, I just don't know how well they really do. Like, for a moment, they looked okay, but then they really kind of fell apart. They really didn't do enough, I feel like, over the, you know, in a few moments kind of following on from there, as we do see. Well, Sack defense is picking away at a Liberate or so, but the Hellbats alone are just cleaving their way through bases. And again, Neon Violet Square truly looks as though it's going the way of uThermal. Cyclones lock onto the Vipers as they make kind of one of those last-ditch efforts to try and come in with some parasitic bombs, which in fairness does quite a bit, kills quite a few of these Liberators, gets a lot of this kind of Sky Army weakened out, but I mean, still, does he have enough to push through on the ground? I'm kind of leaning towards the no answer for that right now, as we are going to be seeing a few Ravens off to the side as well. And, well, again, another scan comes in here. I'm just going to be having this army just going to be, well, Caustic spraying down another couple of spores, getting a little bit more underway, just getting a bit more energy, getting ready to go for, not Caustic Spray, god damn it, Consuming! That's the Corruptor ability, Caustic Spray. Just getting a little bit more energy on the go here, as we are going to be seeing another tank siege up in the middle. This air army as well. Liberators are going to siege. Anti-armor missile will strike in towards those Corruptors. So anti-armor missile striking into the Corruptors here, and we are going to be seeing a lot of damage being dealt as Corruptors get pushed away still. I mean, it's uThermal who just sits like undented a 200 supply. While, you know, Stephano, I mean, look at uThermal, he even has, what, 5 orbitals mining, because he doesn't even feel the fear or the need for a planetary fortress on these bases. Pushing forwards, uThermal is just going to take down this base as well. That's a straight up cancel right away there. Again, the Vipers just getting some of their energy back into their bodies and getting ready to go once more. And, well, this is, again, truly kind of difficult to cast because it is a dead Stephano who's just clinging on for dear life. What can he do? What could he possibly do to get back in this? I'm trying to think, and I mean, there's a lot of Hellbats, which I feel gives the opportunity maybe just kind of overpower the army. But I don't think Stephano really has the setup to do that anymore. The Ravens are here, which he doesn't really have an answer for. Maybe if he had like a ton of Banelings in front of these Hydras, which he could do something with, maybe then I'd have a little bit of belief in me, but I just don't see how you actually take this down. I mean, the Cyclones come forward, they snipe another base. Top right, there's a base going down as anti-armor missiles will straight up kill a bunch of those Vipers. Never mind the Corruptors that are left over, then being dealt with by the rest of the army. I mean, everything right now from Stephano is orange, as that anti-armor really did just do so much. Parasitic bombs again are doing some good damage. He's cleaning up Ravens in the sky. If this was a more even game, I kind of feel like Stephano's not trading badly to stay in it. But I also feel as though uThermal is playing in that sort of like, you know, sort of careless manner where he's like, okay, well, the game's over. I just need to keep on pressing and I will win the game if I do. And therefore, you just find eventually here the GG. And game number 1 does go his as always. And thank you very much for staying tuned as we jump into game number 2 to the top left-hand side. The Biomech player is uThermal. Love that game number 1. A fun little way to get things going. I feel like my mouse is on the wrong DPI. That's a lot better. Perfect. Bottom right-hand side, our red Zerg is Stephano. And we do just have to fix very quickly the score screen. There we go. To have the right name on the right player, because believe it or not, it's not Liquid Stephano, it is Liquid Fermi, and Stephano playing on his barcode at the moment. Meanwhile, by the way, just as this game gets started, there's an insane ZvZ on the way between Namshar and Raynor. Namshar, though, I think is about to win out, because Raynor's consistently trying to just keep on pushing in with less drones, but now Namshar has just won out the fight. This fight's been going on for like 3 minutes. It's absolutely insane. And he's just won this out with his upgrades finishing up. He's got a small advantage there. It looks like Namshar has game number 1 in the bag against Raynor. That series is looking like a lot of fun, honestly. We're probably going to cast those series at the end of today, depending on how long today's stream goes. Probably going to cast a couple of best of threes on the end. Just as an extra kind of just replay cast so you guys can see what happened in the games and all of that. we don't like casting from the replays, and I'd love to be able to bring you guys all of these series one after the other, but the reality is we're working on time constraints with players and so on. We don't want players to stay up forever. You know, it's the one day we do it, you know, the one day we put on 4 best-of-3s and then the 3 best-of-5s afterwards is the one day where every best-of-3 goes like an hour and an hour plus long, and the best-of-5s like an hour and a half long each, and suddenly we're talking about like a 9-hour stream. That's not fair on the players, so that's something which we want to try and avoid, which is why we do run parallel series in the round of 8. But just to show you guys again, just jumping into that ZvT, Namshaw's now made his way across the map. As Namshaw's made his way across the map, he is going to push on in for victory, basically. There's no way Reno can hold off. The slightly betterly upgraded roaches, the better numbers, the lack of a hatchery, everything is in Namshaw's favor right now. I do not know how he could lose this. Reno's not going to tap out just yet. He will play until the very end. But again, Namshaw is looking good for the moment. So, that's ongoing as we set up into game number 2 here of the TVZ. Let's have a little bit of a look at these builds and see what will be happening, because we do see the Widow Mine on the way up to begin with here from uThermal. So with the Widow Mine already on the way out, about halfway done, he's looking to... It's a very different opening to game 1, obviously. I mean, no CC first this time around. This time was a Reaper expand. Was it a Reaper expand? Did he lose the Reaper, or was it just a Reactor expand? It was a Reactor expand. That's why he's got the Marines. Machachi makes a little bit of sense here, as he goes into another couple of Marines as well. He's actually going to move the barracks off of the reactor, which means the Starport will go onto it. Medevac Viking, double Liberator, Medevac Lib. Oh no! Factory's going to go on the reactor, and Starport's going to go on the Tech Lab. Ooh, very technical little set of add-on swaps here. And there's going to be a Medevac with a faked cloak, and then Hellions as well to back this up. Maybe an armory behind this too for a Hellbat kind of esque sort of addition to this attack. This is looking very scrumptious for uThermal. I like this build so far. It's looking fun. It's looking very fun. Well, that's on the way up. Meanwhile, we look at Stephano's opener, and, well, there's not really too much to comment on. I'd say currently just free base play. Nothing really too crazy. Gets an SCV kill at the front. Doesn't get any scouting, and I'm pretty sure this game Stephano's going to be trying to scout a lot better based on the switch-up that uThermal had in that last game. The cloak is actually going to be real. He's going to keep that there, as he does have the Banshee now underway. So Banshee coming through, and he will have that cloak sheet to kind of harass with in the next couple of minutes. Keeps him very safe from a lot of attacks as well, as we will see this Medevac of uThermal coming through to the south side to get some damage done. And by the way, Namshaw has just now taken game number 1 against Reno. That is GG's. Namshaw leads that series 1-0. Our young wonder kid is a game down and hurting. Well, it is an armory, it's double armory, but not really the armories in time to kind of make Hellbats and use those as part of this fight or anything. That's a lot of queens, and those queens are keeping themselves very well positioned to stop that Medevac from being able to attack on in, from being able to hit into a good location or anything along those lines. So Medevac is pushed back for the moment. Now I'm going to boost back over towards the center or so, maybe trying again, find a bit of a different opening here, find another way to attack on in, as we are going to be seeing these Marines start to do some damage. I mean, some Lings going down, a couple of drones will be under some fire here as well in the next few moments. Queen taking some shots, a couple of drones taking some damage as well. And we do see 4, 5, 6 workers going down already. It's actually some good damage done. Is there something else going on? Yes, there was, I think, just the Hellions diving into that natural, which helped kind of add to the workers killed here. These Marines will get taken down now, not much else they can do. And that is a 9-worker killed attack. But Banshee shows up in the main. Yes, there's a Spore Crawler, but sitting on the edge of the Spore Crawler, edge of the mineral line, he can get a couple of kills right away. He just gets a couple of those nice and quickly. So a couple extra drones. There's actually just one so far, but Banshee's still looking around for further damage. Maybe drones transferring between bases, such as these two right here. And as he picks off those couple of drones, oh, nice Spore Crawler to save one of them. It's a nice little something, but he still loses one more in the mineral line. That's a dead Banshee as it flies over the third base. Oh, no way. There's no Spore Crawler on the third base. Oh my god. There's no Spore Crawler on the third base. I think Stephano's just realized this as well. He's like, oh my god. Okay, he's actually got one walking over here, so uThermal wasn't able to kind of find that and abuse it while it was still an issue. And this Banshee, another kill or two, just keeps that worker kill count growing. As uThermal will move his command center over into position here, going to drop down in the next couple of moments. So, just going to see this couple of meals dropping down, and third base being established now after uThermal's had a fairly successful amount of harassment so far in the game. 1-1 vehicle upgrades currently coming through. The +2 melee just got cancelled from Stephano and restarts with +1 missiles. So I think he's just starting to realize that this could very well be a mech play here, and he maybe wants the missile upgrade for those roaches rather than further melee upgrades. Looks like he's going to play a Roach Bane sort of focus style, Roach Ravager Bane maybe. Kind of going in towards this mech, or going up against this mech army, which is a little bit better than just purely Bane. The Roaches add that little bit of a, you know, they add a little bit of armor to their engagements actually, so it actually works out a little bit better for the Zerg player, so that should go a lot better for him. As we do just have the extra factories coming on through here. uThermal continuing to show us a lot of mech play in the last couple of days against Zerg, so let's see what else he can do. Again, he has been, in general, showing us a lot of, yeah, uThermal in general has just shown us a lot of fun games the last couple of days, because he was in yesterday's group. He showed us mech against Hearthstone, he showed us fun TVP, fun TVZ, and the TVT was pretty back and forth as well. It was a fun set of matches, honestly, as Hellions from uThermal coming back over to the left-hand side. We are going to see those just coming in here and seeing what's up. A couple of Cyclones off over to the right as the command center comes down on the 4th base. So CC coming through on the 4th, and we are going to have uThermal again, just coming out into the middle of the map. Cryptimas also going to be going down now, so a little bit more damage being dealt here, and we're going to be seeing a couple of these Cryptimas as they fall. I mean, it just gives uThermal kind of more presence on the map. It takes away Stephano's kind of presence, and that's a really nice run by, though. That's 6 workers going down here. Oh, I love that, though. The tanks on siege at the perfect moment. uThermal paying so much attention to that as, oh, well, here come the Banes. The Hellbats have to try and split away. The Hellbats here mostly to kind of allow the 4s more time to deal damage. He loses one of the Medivacs already, though, which means that he won't be able to lift these 4s up and back it away. The second Medivac also goes down. So these 4s are stranded, and that is a shame, because uThermal will not retain anything on this. And that is a little bit of a mistake there. The complication of having to deal with that kind of run by while also having this attack going on definitely, I think, cost him a little bit of his concentration, and hence the loss of the Medivac or 2, which really, it's a big deal. It's something that really kind of goes a long way to helping out if you keep those units alive. The ability to kind of retain these units is a massive, massive part of it. Of this, you know, the strength of this mech army, because suddenly Stephano has these very swarmy units, the Roaches, the Lings, the Banelings. They come out very quickly, and if you've lost a couple of 4s and a few Hellbats, suddenly you don't have as much to defend with. 30 army supply down, as we do see those few Hellions just going to come over to the right-hand side as well, and work their way through that hatchery. Hellions coming up and just sitting on the 4th base now. Stephano with the Infestation Pit has chosen to go in towards the Swarm Host play. So going in towards a few Swarm Hosts here. And those are going to be something which will be able to obviously come into the action. And the Wave of Locusts really gives you that very powerful push where the Locusts are something you don't mind dying. So you can actually kind of trade with the Locusts, push into the entire army, and it just allows the rest of your units to get more value than they usually would on their own. So this one was definitely a powerful way to play. I think uThermal just got a glimpse of this here. Does he have Blue Flame already? He does, and that's going to be a massive part of dealing with those Locusts quickly and efficiently. Locusts coming back over to the right-hand side, and we are going to see the Roaches and Queens still just gathering themselves up together. I'm going to give a couple of Cyclones to splitting up in a couple of directions, and just going to see that +2 vehicle weapon upgrade is also currently just on its way up. So +2 vehicle weapons coming through on the armory. We do see the Hydra's Den is dropping down just over halfway done. And yeah, +3 Carapace, +2 missiles. All of this currently setting up here still from Stephano. I feel like Stephano really is in just such a better position in this second game. Obviously this time he kind of knew it was mech from the get-go. He kind of prepared for it, and uThermal obviously had that less than ideal opening. That said, both are maxed out, so you know, neither Stephano nor uThermal really has a massive advantage going into a fight here in particular. Let's see what these Locusts can do. They're going to drop down on towards the Planetary Force as well. Corrosive Bow is being used. The Planetary is being repaired, but it is not enough. It will go down, but it costs Stephano heavily. Multiple Roaches just getting roasted there, and oh, actually they pop back up to fight against those Blue Flame Hellions as wow, guys. Just a quick update. Namshar takes the 2-0 against Raynor. Absolutely monstrous stuff right there. between the two of them. So Namshar takes that 2-0, and he'll advance through to the semi-finals to play against DNS. What a series that will be, as we are going to be seeing Hellions, Cyclones, and tanks pushing forwards, though. Back in this game, uThermal, he's attacking while the Swarmers were on cooldown, but now they're off cooldown. Now they can use those locusts as part of the defense. He is waiting and waiting, maybe for just a few more reinforcements to show up. Roaches across the map are killing a lot of SCVs. Stephano's going to give up a base before he sets off those locusts. He's waiting as long as possible here. He truly is. The lack of Hellions is really concerning, though. How on earth do you deal with these locusts fast enough without Hellions? I don't think you do, and that is why we're seeing these tanks starting to go down. The Cyclones dropped heavily in number as well. Maybe you can kill some Swarmers here as they're on cooldown. Maybe you can kill another base. uThermal lost so many SCVs. He's on 3 bases now, essentially, and only 53 SCVs remaining. uThermal will kind of just about hang in there. If he can do enough on this hatchery now, maybe there's a way. Oh my god, 2 tanks friendly fire each other down. Well, if he kills this hatchery, oh, this is so close. He lifts back up into the sky with the Vikings. Okay, he's still going to get it, and I guess lifting up like this is enables him to get away with the Vikings here. So the Vikings are able to get out in towards the center. 2 tanks coming around the left-hand side, and we are going to be seeing this bottom left-hand hatchery going to be under a little bit of pressure. Roaches going to be scanned here, so Cyclones are going to be able to get the kills, and we are going to be seeing those tanks continuing to work their way through this hatch. Roaches come over and they clean this up. So Stephano lost 2 bases. So while he did a lot of eco damage, he's reset to 3 bases. And uThermal's back on his own 4th base as well, with only a 10-worker deficit. This was amazing. The Locusts get forced to drop down so quickly, so they don't get to drop and surround a unit here, which is what they would love to do. And that's obviously fantastic as well. We're all going to be seeing those units from uThermal. Coming back over to the right-hand side, we see these Cyclones still getting to work. Roaches will continue to be picked away. +3 vehicle weapons on the way up on the armory. And we are going to be seeing the +3 missiles and the +1 flyer carapace coming through on the other side of things. And locusts pop up, and we are going to be seeing those pushing forwards once more here as we have Cyclones pushing on in. We're going to see those Hydras and Ravagers looking to see what's going on. Actually, look at this. The flank from both sides might just be a bit too much to deal with. Cyclones on the other side of the map kill yet another base, though. And by killing yet another base, that's what the Cyclones are so good at. But how do you actually deal with this army, which in the end is going to kill yet another command center? And Stephano's just re-expanded so many times over. 2 bases on the far right is going to be so painful to somehow deal with. I mean, he's got a few Cyclones and he's running in with them. There isn't a lot to deal with these, in fairness. I mean, a Queen transfuses a Spinecrawler for a couple of seconds. He's actually going to kill this south side base. Cyclones are so insane at base trades. Well, just kind of killing off bases like this in general. The Cyclones are keeping Stephano's economy low enough, maybe, where uThermal can somewhat contest still. In general, I just think that 2 bases on the right-hand side, though, now fully saturated, will make enough of a difference here. As we are going to be seeing, well, a few Locusts dropping down. How that and the Cyclones deal with those few Locusts pretty effectively. We're going to see those Cyclones picked off here. The Ravagers doing a good job of it. Nice pickoffs as we're going to see Queen still pushing the creep out over to the left-hand side. Again, we're just going to be seeing the Swarm Hosts try and be used defensively. He sees this base not really saturated. This Hydra burrows, really nice response from Stephano, because that would have been a kill. Hellions trapped in a corner, and below 100 supply, uThermal is looking as though he's in just a little bit of trouble. A couple of spines going to burrow themselves or start themselves up. Just extra stack defense. Stephano knowing that if he can just hold on, this game well and truly is his to take home and to tie this up 1 game apiece. Hydras, Ravagers, and Swarm Hosts come out into the center of the map, and they are going to be spreading themselves out just a little bit here. We are going to see some of these Locusts popping up and moving up towards the top side. Orbital has to lift once again. Hydras will work their way through this. Corrosive Biles are good to get that Orbital on the down, and that is going to mean that now just 2 command centers remain for uThermal. He's been pressed back. Honestly, I'm surprised uThermal put up so much of a fight in this game. He's been pressed back endlessly, it feels like, but eventually he is not really going to have the economy to draw himself back into this now. I mean, what can he possibly do on 41 SCVs, 2 bases of mining against a maxed out Stephano who has a bank to play with? He has the Locust to trade efficiently with. There's just no real way you can make this happen right now. We're going to see the corrosive bars coming down, knocking their way through these rocks, and the rocks, as they fall, will obviously open up this pathway up in towards this base here. It's going to be seen again, Hydras and Ravagers gathering up over to the right-hand side, and they are going to be looking to see just what they can do as well. Tanks are still siege as the Locusts just pressing forwards to see just what they can maybe get done. They're going to drop down, and they're going to get roasted pretty quickly, honestly. So the Locusts go down pretty swiftly. Another scan drops, and we are going to be seeing, I mean, uThermal just still keeping track of where that army is. Stephano. I think if he just goes in with a wave of Locusts, he can just go and take down absolutely everything without really any further issues. So I think he just needs that one wave of Locusts. Go in with the rest of the army as well. He's going to be just fine. I mean, he's playing it safe. He's getting a Spire. He's still teching up just a little bit. uThermal will hang on until the very, very end of this here. He will not give up until he really has to. Again, this army of uThermal will just continue to gather outside the third base. Few Swarm Hosts just splitting up to the side. It's actually going to be Locusts to the right and the rest of the army to the left. I mean, it works, honestly. Locusts actually looking for a full surround themselves. The Locusts get on top of the siege tanks here. This could be deadly. The tanks fire onto the Locusts before the rest of the army. Well, actually, maybe Stephano jumping the gun a little bit on that, but the Locusts are still going to get on the tanks, and if they get on the tanks, they're going to deal so much damage. And I mean, even if he doesn't win the game right now, now there's only 2 siege tanks left, so what do you do? I think uThermal knows he can't just sit here and keep on taking damage like this. He has to push right now after a trade that was a little bit better for him than Stephano. Obviously, Stephano has a bank, so it doesn't really matter, but it's a nice idea from uThermal. Stephano's just, oops, that's a little bit of a mistake. uThermal will kill off a few of the Swarm Hosts. A little bit unfortunate there, as we do see actually the Roaches and Hydras just going to counter-attack in, and that means it's going to be another dead command center. uThermal really is all in now with this attack, but reinforcements keep on coming through. And he picks off a base, he backs away, but now he only has his natural with 2 mineral patches left. 500 minerals between the 2 of them. You're still going to be seeing just a few more creep teamers going down. These Swarm Hosts are going to be found. I mean, again, it's a nice couple of kills. It's nice pickoffs. I don't think anyone's going to deny it. It's nice to get rid of some Swarm Hosts, but if this had happened much earlier in the game, it would be a different scenario as right now. I mean, these Hydras are still just pushing in, fighting SCVs as they try to long-distance mine. The worker kill tab just goes ridiculously high in favor of Stephano. And Stephano takes game 2 to tie this up 1-1 in the best of 3. A decider between Stephano and uThermal. It's 1-1. Give me a quick moment to just fix that score screen. Correct Stephano's name back up top. And let's do this. To the top left-hand side, our red Zerg player will be Stephano. And to the bottom right-hand side, this is our blue Terran from Team Liquid, uThermal. Okay then, so it's game number 3. How are we doing, guys, out in the chat today? You all having a good time? Is everyone having a good day? How's everybody's Wednesday been? Just want to take a quick moment to remind you guys, I am not here for the rest of the week. I am going to Switzerland tomorrow for my mum's birthday. We are going on a bit of a trip. I'm taking a bit of time out, so I'm going to be gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll be back Monday. And I'll be back all next week and the start of the week after before I fly out to Canada for the BTSL finals, which I'm going to be casting. And then I'm actually going to take in my own personal vacation in New York and Philadelphia for about a week before attending WCS Austin and before heading home to then cast relentlessly throughout the rest of June. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up in case you're regulars on the channel and you start to wonder maybe where I am. I am planning actually to try and cast as much as I can while I'm away. A couple of events I have kind of planned and set up and money to run, etc. So I am looking to still cast when possible while I'm away. It's just, it is very possible that it's not going to be every day, obviously. You know, I'm not going to be streaming every day while I'm away. So yeah. All right. So yeah, just a little bit of a heads up for you guys, so you know where I'm going to be and all of that stuff. It's Wednesday today, guys. It's not Friday for anyone. God damn it. You guys are so silly sometimes. It's not Friday. Now you're going to see this Reaper coming around the left side. a little bit of a look to see just what is going on here. A couple of queens currently on the way up for our Zerg. And obviously, so far, it's been a relatively peaceful startup for the first 2.5 minutes. Or thereabouts. Factory coming down from uThermal, the reactor as well. Again, everything we kind of expect this to be for the moment. It's actually Thursday for me. Okay, well, it is Thursday for some people, but it's definitely not Friday for anybody. It's definitely not Friday for anybody. God damn. Wednesday, the second Friday of the week. I like Wednesdays. You know, because I always thought that, you know, when Wednesday was over, you're like, God damn, awesome, you know, Monday and Tuesday are gone. You know, Wednesday is not a bad day, but now we're over halfway through the week. Tomorrow's Thursday, and Thursdays are always good days, right? And that leads to Friday. You know, Thursdays are great days because Friday's the day after, and then it's the weekend. So I always thought Wednesdays were a great day. Anyways, we do have the game just setting up here still, and I mean, really not much going on. We've been following this Reaper, but there's not really much else to see. Link speed is coming down. Third hatchery is about to finish. And that's about it for the moment, as we do see this Overlord just coming through to, you know, in towards the main base. So, Overlord coming in towards the main. And we are going to have those couple of Hellions of uThermal just going to be moving out and towards the upper side of the map. So, again, just looking to see what they can do. A little bit of pressure here. He is going in towards the stim pack, so it looks as though it's at least going to be a bio opening. Whether it'll be a bio follow-up is yet to be seen. As we do have the units just kind of getting ready to go. So Wednesday is great because it sucks a little less on Monday and Tuesday. No, Wednesday is great because it leads you into the adventures of the weekend already. You know, it's close to the weekend. It's like, you know, it's getting close to that point. It's going to be kind of cool. Anyways, a couple of Hellions and a Reaper coming down the south side. I'm looking to see what they can get up to. Anyways, light coming up here and getting ready to go. As you see, the Carapace upgrade is coming on in. Rocharon coming down as well. And then Ghost on the way out from uThermal. So we saw this yesterday from him, an attempt against Raynor to play the kind of the Ghost Hellbat sort of attack in the early stages and then transition into mech. It actually turned out that Raynor tried to be aggressive against him when he tried to do this, and by being aggressive, Raynor kind of ran into the kind of trap of uThermal where, you know, he wasn't really able to kind of do anything because there was Ghost there to help the defense, which is obviously huge. So it was kind of a little bit crazy, I guess, in the end, as we do see this medevac coming back down the left-hand side, and we just see Queens and Lings in the center. Some creep streamers being pushed forwards out through the center. Medevac here just going to have to boost just a little bit, as we do see more of those Hellions, 6 of them coming up the right-hand side of Reaper as well. Another couple of Ghosts also coming through. 4 more Hellions going to unload, drop off, and continue to come up towards the top side. So here you go. I mean, again, it's going to be a lot of Hellbats. The Ghosts here, well, it's interesting what they try to deal damage on. I think a lot of the time it's nice to try and get the snipe onto the Queen. Stephano's just going to pull the drones away. He obviously isn't feeling good. They're stacked up a little bit. Has to be careful. First snipes come down. 2 different Queens dropping very quickly. There's another snipe available, and there still is one more snipe available on that back Ghost. Some Lings on top of it now, so he can't do that much damage, so the snipe will be cancelled. Oh, he just loses it with energy left on it, and he lifts up something as it gets taken down, that medevac. Small shame there. uThermal gets his attack shut down, but did it do enough? All of these drones had to pull away from mine time. 6 workers were lost. uThermal's only 4 workers behind, floating a 3rd base out into position, transitioning nicely into the mech play. He already has his triple factory building. He has his 4th and 5th factory actually on the way up right now. As we are going to be seeing those Hellions still just coming over to the left side. I was going to see the orbital coming over. And, yeah, just probably going to see a mule or so starting to drop down the 3rd base. Again, a good defense from Stephano, but still kind of gave up a little bit, right? You know, pulled all the drones away. You know, had to buy some time. Let's see what he can do right now if these roaches counterattack. And uThermal has... Oh no, the tanks and the cyclones are stuck on the armory. Oh my god, well that's absolutely devastating right now. They can't get out. Or maybe the Cyclones can, but the tanks definitely can't. uThermal's just going to die here. He has just no way to hold on. Those Roaches keep on pushing through. The Cyclones are going to get taken down. And that is going to be... Oh, well, that's kind of brutal. I didn't realize he didn't have the armory for the Hellbat push. I just thought he sort of decided to keep it in Hellion mode. I didn't even think about that at the time. Wow. Rip. GG. Stephano takes it 2 games to 1. And he will be able